Hello and welcome back to the channel. This week we are looking at My Truck Game. Now this is touted as a physics-based off-road truck and bus simulation, quote unquote, on Steam. This was released only 7th of February by a developer called Chris and a publisher called Chris, probably the same guy. Quite a small, I guess, development team here, one-man band kind of thing. And you can see here that, yeah, it's quite an interesting one indeed. So yes, it's basically a heavily physics-based simulation of trucks and buses and tractors and things like that. We are based here on one of the 3 maps that are offered in the early access release here, this being the desert map. And you can see I'm just running around here. There's some concrete pads, there's a train track. I'm not sure why our guy is dressed in a spacesuit or astronaut suit, not sure what's going on there, but anyway, by walking into this garage you can see we've got access to quite a few vehicles here, and they're all faithfully modeled within the game. There's 18 vehicles at this point in time, so you can basically pick and choose any one of these vehicles. You can hop in and basically go for a little drive. So just that's what we're going to do right now. You can see now that I've hopped in, the tires have deformed already, so you can see the physics has taken effect on this vehicle. You can see there the tires. Now I am using a Logitech G27 pedal, shifter and steering wheel combo today, so I just thought I would give it a go and test out the controller support, because one of the big things on my list with these games is controller support. So you'll be happy to know that the controllers are supported at the most basic level, but there is no clutch support. Also, I'm just trying to turn my head here and I can't quite turn it any more than just a little bit. So no track IR support unfortunately either. Let's just go ahead and start the engine now. So just tap the accelerator there and just trying out the analog precision of the accelerator here, and you can see that I can accelerate gently and the engine responds accordingly, which is good. So that's a good start. As I did mention, I think there is no clutch support, so there is an automatic clutch as you accelerate and change gear. So in manual mode, basically got the park brake on there. Whoops, just take the park brake off. So you hit M to change between manual and auto mode, and then you can shift using the paddles on your steering. For those of you who aren't endowed with the steering wheel, aren't blessed with one I should say, you can use the keyboard as well to drive. And here you can see here the physics are taking effect as we drive over these undulations, and you can see that the tires themselves, let's just accelerate a bit more, get a little bit closer up here to this edge of the concrete slab, and you can see the tires are kind of deforming as we run over the concrete there. So suspension's obviously modeled quite well. One thing with this game is that it really brings across the sense of weight. You really feel like you're driving a heavy vehicle, that's for sure. Now you can see here these wheels are kind of spinning as the weight comes off them as well. So differential action is modeled as well. There are no differential locks or diff locks in the game as yet, but I think you'll get along fine without them for the moment. Terrain deformation is not really modeled as such. And the sounds themselves aren't too bad. We will hop into the school bus in just a moment though, and you will hear how horrendous that sounds. But apart from that, the trucks themselves don't sound too bad at all. Just going over the railroad tracks here. That's actually quite modeled quite well, I must say. The bumps and undulations and things like that really kind of forces you to think ahead. There is no damage modeling as such modeled at the moment, so you can really just drive as much as you like. There's no objectives or anything in the game. Oops, and I've just managed to stall it. So just showing you that aspect of it as well. So I'm in 5th gear. In 5th gear, if you try to accelerate in too high a gear, the auto clutch will let out, and then it will stall the engine if the gear is too high. So that's pretty cool. So just shifting back now to neutral, put it back into 1st. Oh, let's just try 2nd, and let's just accelerate. Auto clutch does its thing, and then we move. So yeah, it's possible to stall the engine. That's pretty cool in manual mode. So that's quite a realistic feature at least. So glad that he's managed to model that as well. But obviously you can tell that the majority, like, you know, the bulk of the development work so far has gone into the physics and simulation aspect, you know, the driving aspect of the game. Just look at the way the wheels, the tires deform, the suspension, kind of flexes away there as you're moving over bumps and the railroad tracks and things like that. So yeah, no real objectives at this point in time with early access. Just sort of drive around and do whatever you want, really. Can't really damage the vehicle either, so you can run out of fuel as far as I know, but not sure if those gas stations and refueling is modeled just yet. Yeah, suspension itself, like the damping is modeled quite well as well. There are a few little inconsistencies now and again with the damping, where the suspension kind of just stops reacting suddenly when you stop. And I think that also there's a little bit too much grip in the game as well. So like as long as your tires are on the ground, they won't lose grip kind of thing. So that probably needs to be worked on, the adhesion aspect of the game. But you can see here that the like the cab of the truck and the rear cargo section and the frame is all flexing around quite realistically there. So that's done quite well. I'm just intending for this to be quite a quick video, guys. I just want it to be a bit of a first look, nothing really too in-depth, just to sort of get across to you what the game's all about and hopefully help you make a decision whether or not you want to pick it up. It is very much, like I said, early access, so you do have to kind of bear in mind that you're not really getting much for the price at this point in time. But the premise of the game looks pretty good. It's about $7 US on Steam right now. So if you do want to pick it up, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show the store page in Steam in just a sec. We'll head back to the garage. So let's go ahead and do that now. Okay, so whoops, let's mute that video. Yeah, you can see here this is the store page for the game itself. And you can see here that there's talk of adding a new vehicle to the game, a tractor. But yeah, you can see that the big focus obviously is on the physics engine itself. You can see the suspension, the leaf springs. A lot of thought has gone into the physics side of the game. You can see there. So physics-based off-road based physics-based off-road truck and bus simulation, as I mentioned before. 18 vehicles so far. Got that tractor coming up soon. And so yeah, that's basically it. So we'll just head back and see. Let's go ahead and choose another vehicle. So just head back into the garage here. Yeah, so the out of the 18 vehicles here, I've got the school bus. Let's just go ahead and choose this. You can see there, there's quite a selection. One thing with the school bus is the engine sound of the school bus is really not that great at all. It kind of sounds, it's been described as like a vacuum cleaner, and I don't disagree with that at all. Already you can hear it's got a very uneasy hum to it. But yeah, I mean, considering this is early access, everything else I guess is mostly there for the school bus. It would be cool to actually have some sort of passenger run objective and things like that, or you can pick up passengers in the bus and drive them around. That would be pretty cool. But just for the moment, you can see that the bus is mostly there. You could have a bit of fun driving this bus around the different maps that are in this game so far. So you can see there that the suspension and the physics once again are presented fairly well in the bus. Now I'm just driving in automatic mode now, and I'm just going to test out the kickdown of the transmission. So if I accelerate hard, okay, I'm just trying to slow the vehicle down and just accelerate. You can see there that it doesn't really want to shift gears. It doesn't want to shift down to say third right now. It's kind of shifting down, but only when you slow down. See, like now it's in fourth. Give it full throttle, it's not shifting down to third, it's just kind of plodding along in fourth. So yeah, there's not that complex shifting algorithm that say BeamNG has, BeamNG Drive has with its auto trans systems. Anyway, that's early access anyway, so what do you expect, I guess. Just choosing the island map now. I'm just going to have a quick look at the island map. This is the other map that's in the game. There's 3 maps, as I said. There's also the suspension test map, which is very much straight out of BeamNG kind of concept there. But this is the island map. You can see it's a lot more green, a lot more shrubbery around. Quite a bit more hilly. As I mentioned before, not too sure about these gas stations, whether they're modeled or not in the game just yet. The fuel consumption is modeled, as you saw there before, miles per gallon, all that sort of thing. could probably be worked on, but let's just go ahead and choose one more vehicle. So we'll choose the 8x8 tanker truck, as it's called here. This kind of reminds me of like some sort of Russian all-terrain 8x8 that you'd find in spin tires. Something quite similar to that anyway. So you can see how the developer did, oh, okay. The interior of the 8x8 is not quite finished yet, it seems. Again, early access, so what can you really expect from it? Unfortunately, that's just the way it is, but just from driving the vehicle so far, this one has a high and low range as well, so that's pretty cool. You can see that the physics is modeled once again quite well. Engine sound is pretty cool for the 8x8. This very much reminds me of spin tires right now, this whole terrain and vehicle selection here. I could just imagine myself using this vehicle to cart some diesel fuel to another stricken vehicle somewhere across the other side of the map. Unfortunately, there's no such objectives at this point in time, but hopefully it's something that the developer Chris will hopefully develop in the coming weeks and months and maybe even years, who knows. But yeah, just thought I would give this game a quick little run today. Hope you enjoyed this video. Just using high range third here. Could probably use a slightly lower gear actually. So yes, please like, comment, subscribe. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment below, just letting me know your thoughts on the game. It only just came out, so I'm just trying to go easy on it for sure. It is obviously, it's lacking in quite a few areas there, but overall I think it's showing a bit of promise, so long as the developer obviously keeps at it and doesn't sort of abandon it or anything like that. So just quickly, some of the things that I would like to see in this game include clutch and shifter support, just the ability to do a little bit more from when it comes to all-wheel drive and diff locks, things like that, and binding controls, damage modeling is a big one, and tire pressures, all that sort of thing, and some objectives on the map too. But yes, things like damage modeling, things like that, not really modeled that well so far. I'm just going off this little cliff here, down this hill, and just seeing how it responds, how it reacts. Suspension's working quite well. Yeah, okay. That's slightly glitchy, I guess you could say, just the way the truck's reacting there, but overall not a bad effort at all for a early access game. So yes, hope you enjoyed the video. Just a quick plug for my socials as well, don't forget to check them out. They're in the description below, my Instagram and Facebook accounts. There's quite a lot going on behind the scenes of my channel as well, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.